Hello. I'm Dan Tentler. I'm going to be your ponytail for this evening. So over the last, say, 2 years, I have had this habit of finding things on the internet and displaying them and presenting them at talks like this. This is a very short compilation of some of the things that I found on the internet that people put there willingly. So it's easy to find interesting stuff online if you know the right place to look. You don't need any really special tools. You don't need a lot of special skills. You basically just need a browser. A lot of the stuff can be found by you searching Google even, but even more so that there's a search engine called Shodan that's available that will find things based on the port that they are exposing to the internet versus a web page. So there's more than just websites on the internet. It's actually a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of it, tons. This is the front end of Shodan. This is where you type your query. Just like Google, essentially. The intention of this tool is to show you what's connected that's beyond web servers. So it's a fun place to start. You have to imagine the internet kind of like America's freeway system. If you were to get out and look around, if you were to step out over a freeway overpass and look down, you could look inside of every truck bed and every convertible car. The internet is a lot the same way. It's very similar. People are exposing things either willingly or unknowingly, and anybody can look if they just know where to look. So my first foray into this was internet cameras. There are tons of these. I found somewhere upwards of 972,000 publicly accessible webcams. This one happens to be inside somebody's office. Somebody knowingly put this webcam there and put it on the internet. Why? I have no idea. But I found it, and here it is. Now you can have it. Right? So this is another system. This is a March Networks camera system that I found on the internet. I believe this one is in France, and if I've done all my translations correctly, it's actually a gold mine. So why? I don't know. This is your meta for this evening. This is a camera in the building of the manufacturing company that makes the cameras, watching two guys talk about parts of the camera I'm watching them with. Okay. Too much. This is a hydrogen fuel cell. Why somebody would want to put a hydrogen fuel cell on the internet is beyond my comprehension, but it's there, and you can get to it if you really want to. These things tend to be found at the base of 3G, 4G cell phone towers. So when the power goes out, you got one of these things keeping your cell phone connected to the internet. Wind farms are connected to the internet. Here's an interface for one, publicly accessible. Point your browser at it and watch it go. This is I'm not sure, it could be Italian, some very, very large industrial system controlling something that looks like it could be under a lot of pressure. Publicly accessible to the internet. And I can control the pumps. Don't let me control the pumps. That's a bad idea. This is a problem I wish I had. This is a private residence that is big enough to warrant a SCADA or an industrial control system to maintain its air conditioning and HVAC systems. And this is a house. This is somebody's home. First world problems? Cool. This may look like, if you see that thermostat, might look very familiar. This is a thermostat system that's made, I think, by Honeywell. This is controlled by a Niagara controller, which is a very popular controller to do this sort of thing. These are directly connected to the internet as well, and they have touch panels that you can control using a VNC protocol over the internet. You can change the temperature on people if you feel up to it. Larger systems, like presumably systems that could be in buildings large like this one. This is a Siemens systems that control the boiler room. And this is another sort of contents under pressure situation where this system is publicly accessible online. You probably don't want nefarious people getting their hands on it. But you have to ask yourself, this system's been online for years and years. So if some bad guy wanted to do some bad stuff with it, why haven't they already? Right? So to take that a step further, and some of the today's other speakers have elaborated, you can start to infer things based on this information that you can find, and you can start to put pieces together, and you can cross-link information to find more interesting stuff. So in this case, this is a short little example of that. This is a camera system that I found somewhere in the United States that is using another March Networks interface. The top right-hand camera is a PTZ camera, which stands for pan, tilt, zoom, which means I can control it over the internet using my browser. I can pan around, and I can spy on the girl working the front desk, and I can look at around the room and look at their lobby. So I did. There's a cool tool that you can put into Chrome called Chrome Ultimate Flag. Chrome Ultimate Flag will tell you some small details about the website that you're visiting, like what city it's in, its IP address, and whether Watt thinks it's scary or not, things like that. But the cool part is that you can validate where this thing lives. And in this case, it's in Newburyport, Massachusetts. Using that information and going to panning the camera over to the, the logo on the front door, which laughably says security integrators. Yeah, security companies like exposing this stuff to the internet, rad. I could, using that information and their city, I was able to find out on Google where they are, and this is as close as Google Maps would let me get to them. And this is entirely done with a browser. Like, I use nothing but Google Chrome to do this. No special training, no special tools, just playing on the internet, essentially. So OSINT is short for Open Source Intelligence, which is a term that we use in the information security community for gathering intelligence using stuff that's freely available on the internet, such as these guys. You can take it up a notch and do some simple social engineering. It's amazing what you can do, and this wasn't me, but these screenshots were sent to me. It's amazing what you can do when you call a person that works at a pizza place and say, "Hi, we're watching you on the camera, you should do some stuff." I've been giving this talk, version of this talk for a little while now, and based on some of the webcam-related stuff that I've done, some people on the internet decided to use the tools that I released to find cameras on the internet, and one of them was inside of a pizza place. And they called this pizza place, and you can see this the monitor on the far left is covered in brown paper. They had told this girl that there was something wrong with that computer, and to fix it, she needed to put brown paper around it and write OMG hacks on a piece of... It went on for hours, and the poor girl had no idea what was going on, but everybody seemed to laugh about it after the fact, and apparently this made it onto some sort of like prank radio show. There she is waving. Hi, you can see me. So massive cooling equipment can be found on the internet. I never really worked in an industrial setting before, but this is a building that has 15 massive evaporative coolers. This is what the interface looks like. It's publicly accessible. Let's talk about information leakage. This is part of the UI. If you can tell me what the name is of the guy that admins this when I'm not connected to it, I'll give you $1. It's Dennis. I know that he uses a MacBook Pro. I know that there's more than him that talked to this controller. And laughably, he called me, or he emailed me, I should say, because my computer's name appeared in this list when I landed on this controller. So that's fun. Things that the world around you is keeping track of and you know, loosely logging in places that not a lot of people look. So something to keep in mind. Lonworks was a protocol that was designed to bring together HVAC systems and industrial systems that were running in businesses like this one. Like if you wanted the air conditioning system to talk to the garage for some reason, or the alarm or something like that, you could use Lonworks to do that. So Siemens makes... Echelon makes a system called the Eilon Smart Server, and they're stackable, like Devo hats. You can have one controller at the top that controls a whole bunch of subcontrollers, and in this case, so there's some company in Denmark that has one controller controlling all of its customers' controllers all over the city. The lower controllers were password protected, but the upper one that controls everything was not. So I found a place called Gigantium. It's a lot like it's a convention center. Under that, is that a basketball floor, I guess, is an ice rink that you can defrost if you're up to it. Why these controllers are online, I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's for the convenience of the organization, but they maybe should have taken 5 minutes to think about what they were doing before they put it on the internet, and I found it. They have also conveniently placed their floor plan on their website, so if you want to mess with certain parts of the building, you can. Other organizations that are controlled by this system was a place called Hetero Strand Camping, which is another camping organization. Another version of this talk has like another dozen of these things that are controlled by this same unit. So you get into one and you can control the rest. Now, if you think your phones are safe, maybe it depends. This is a screenshot of an application that you can install on an Android phone called Android Webcam. I suspect it's free and you can get it out of the market. This is a phone that somebody has set up in their living room that's publicly accessible that is monitoring their living room. And you could sit there and watch what they're doing in their living room. The text at the bottom, the first line says, "Click here to play audio in an external media player." So not only can you watch the video, you can also eavesdrop on the room. And if you really want to scare them, you wait till it gets dark and you can actually click to turn the flash on and off. So you can like Morse code at them with the phone. So there's that too. But online, public, all you need is a browser, right? So stoplights are also on the internet. to sober you guys up a little bit, you can actually telnet into these things and put them in test mode. You can mess with stoplights. Why somebody would want to put this on the internet is beyond me. My guess is that they thought, you know, they went back to the 90s and they thought security through obscurity. I'll put it on the internet. I just won't tell anybody, and nobody will find it. Well, for almost free these days, you can scan the entire internet over and over and over again and find this kind of stuff. And I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep laughing at the guys that do this. But the idea that you can put something online and it will be safe if you just don't tell anybody is not a good idea. Autoplate is another fun find. You can see there the second asterisk line, basic VES with no security. That's good. It's got a website, or I should say the units that are deployed have web interfaces. They look like this. They keep track of every single car that drives through the intersection. At first I thought that these were red light cameras, but they're not. They actually take pictures of everybody. Why that is, I'm not sure, but you can hilariously change the destination place of where these pictures go. If you really wanted, you can make some law enforcement people very sad. This is a French hydroelectric plant that I found that's directly connected to the internet. I didn't let the Java run because I thought that this was a defaced, malicious website. I was told later that no, it wasn't, and that I should run the Java, and it looks like this. And yes, that does read kilowatt. So this is a French hydroelectric plant that's on the internet still today. I have a story about this that involves getting our government and the French government involved in talking, and they basically said, and they left it. So I got two governments involved, and they still didn't take it down or fix it, whatever. But the French really, really like their hydroelectric plants being on the internet. This is an article about the previous slide describing how other people have found this hydroelectric plant and broken it and caused it to flood people. And apparently it's still open, and people can still get to it. So I put that on Twitter. The DHS called me, so at least they're listening. Well, the French really do like to leave their power plants online. Here's another one, and a third, and a fourth. It's like, after 4, I give up. So satellite systems are online as well, storage arrays, emergency telecommunications equipment, home automation systems. You can control this guy's garage door if you wanted, an alarm. Swimming pools. Why would you put a swimming pool on the internet? I don't know. Why would you give me control of the acid pump controlled by this system? You can put it in manual mode and dump all the acid into the pool. Openly, publicly. No credentials, no encryption, nothing. Anybody that knows the IP address of the system can go and dump the acid into the pool. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but apparently they didn't think about it when they put it up. So if anybody's seen this, it's GE Centricity, which is a medical system that's designed to link together MRI systems and X-ray systems and imaging systems all together. Wikipedia has a little article on it that talks about how it's like 27 or something like that, different pieces of software that are all talking to each other. Some genius decided it would be a good idea to put that on the internet, like medical stuff, like imaging. So I went looking for it, and I found a lot of them. Directly connected to the internet. This is Shodan's interface. This is what it looks like when you search for GE Centricity, and these are some of the results. If we zoom into them, we can see some stuff. I was looking at the stuff. I said, oh, that's kind of interesting. Cadstream. What's Cadstream? That looks like it's a model name or vendor name of something. So I looked it up, and it's a breast, liver, and prostate imaging tool to be used in hospitals. So like, this is publicly accessible on the internet. Why are people putting this there? Thank you for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.